What's up, guys? Rip Trippers back at you tonight. So tonight's going to be a comparison. It's going to be a versus. The Kanger Mini Protank versus the Kanger Evod versus the Kanger T3. Okay? They all have the same principle. They're all bottom-fed clear misers. And this is what the Kanger Protank Mini comes with. It comes with, obviously, the body. That's glass and metal all in one. Mouthpiece and everything. You get two heads. And you get an instructional manual which shows you how to fill it up, which I'll go over in a second. The Evod just came as is with one head. And the Kanger T3, same thing, came as is with one head. They have the same principle. They each have a body, a mouthpiece that's attached, so you can't take the mouthpiece off for either the Protank, the Mini Protank, the Kanger T3, or the Evod. Mouthpiece, body, all attached. Here's the body. There's the head. There are your coils at the bottom. And how it works is you turn this upside down, fill it up to the brim, right where that tube ends. Then what you do is you screw this head back in, turn it over, give it a few primer puffs, blow into it, get the liquid to the coils, and you're good to go. And then you can vape. Every single head, it's just like this for the T3, for the Evod, or the Mini Protank. Same concept. Each head comes with the same thing. The Evod head is a little bit shorter stem than the T3 and the Mini Protank. But when you take the stem off, you're going to notice there's two pieces of silica. You could take those out, and then below that is your coil and your wick. A lot of people are saying just to take these out and it's good to go. But what I've noticed is that the reason why they put these two extra pieces in this coil head is because if you're vaping a PG-based juice, and there's people out there that vape 80-20, 80 PG, 20 VG, or 70 PG, 30 VG. With those type of juices, the two extras on there works like a charm because it's the thinner juice and it gets to those coils a lot easier. When I've vaped an 80-20 blend or a 70-30 PG-VG, I leave the two on there. Now, when I get to 50-50 and above, I'll take the two out and I'll vape away and it'll be great. The beauty of these heads, all three of them, is that you can rebuild them. So you could take them out, you can do a silica build just like it comes with, or you can do a cotton build, you can do a stainless steel mesh build. The sky's the limit with these Kanger products. Now we're going to go on to comparing them. First I'm going to talk about the Mini Protank. I'm going to vape it. Then I'm going to vape with the Evod. And I'm going to talk about the T3 and why I'm not vaping this. I actually rebuild the coils in both the Mini Protank and the Evod. And I'm running 15 watts on this Sigelli Z-Max. As you can see, this Mini Protank is a bitchin' vape, especially for a newbie. If you're a newbie out there, I highly recommend picking up a Mini Protank. It holds 1.5 mils of e-liquid. It's half the size as a Protank, or as a regular Protank, and it fits on any ego threading device. So if you're out and about, you either want to carry it on your, PV, or you want to carry it on your ego, you can do that. You can stealth vape with it. Fantastic. I love the draw on these Protanks. The draw is not too airy, it's not too tight, it's right in the middle. I can take a lung hit or I can take a mouth to lung and hit. Okay? Big fan of the Mini Protank. Again, it's got the ego style threading. Flavor is just as good on this device as it is on the Mini Protank. I'm using the same e-liquid with the same VG-PG ratio. I don't get as much vapor with the Evod as I do with the Protank, and the reason is because the draw on this is tighter. It's significantly tighter. Now I've noticed with the Evod that if I screw this down all the way, it's almost like there's no air coming through. So I have to adjust it, give it a little room, and it's a little wobbly. But I've noticed that with all of my heads for the Evod. I've seen some of my friends vaping it, and they say that the draw is fine, and I went to try it, and it seemed a little tight for me, for my taste. But it still produces great flavor, it still produces great vapor, and it's perfect for a newbie. And I think that the Evod may be a better first step for a newbie than the Mini Protank, and the reason is because the air draw is tighter. And just coming off of cigarettes, used to working for that nicotine with the cigarettes, that with the Evod, to me, you have to work for it. I mean, it's a tight draw. Now on to the Kanger T3. Out of all three of these, this comes in last place. And the reason is because it leaks a lot out of these air holes. You got air holes, one on one side, one on the other. And I noticed that when you first fill it up, it doesn't leak as bad as when it gets about down to here and it starts to leak on me, it starts to get gurgly. Whereas with the Evod and the Mini Protank, I don't ever get the gurgle with the Mini Protank. Sometimes I get a little bit of gurgle and a little bit of leaking when it gets really low. But nothing like the Kanger T3. This really does leak as it gets low and it gurgles, and that annoys me. So this is third. We got these two. They're going head to head. What do I think? Which one would I pick? Which one suits me and why? Mini Protank, by far. It costs more money. That's a given because it's a glass tank. It's metal, glass, all in one. The Evod is cheaper. It's more than half the price cheaper. It's plastic tank, plastic drip tip. They hold about the same amount of juice, but I like the way this vapes better than this. This is a tighter draw. It produces great flavor, but the vapor production isn't what the Mini Protank is. I get just as good a flavor as I do on the Evod, plus there's more vapor production, so I pick the Mini Protank. Okay, I'm going to take one more hit. We'll wrap it up. This is my vape whenever I go out and I don't feel like carrying drippers or Genesis atomizers, any rebuildables. This is what I carry, guys. Because, I mean, I could leave it upside down. It's not going to leak. You know, I'm on the go. I purchased the Mini Protank from Viper Vapes. I purchased the Kanger Evod from Discount Vapors. And I purchased the Kanger T3 from a brick and mortar by my house. But you can also get the Kanger T3 from Discount Vapors as well. I'll post a link to all those sites below. Again, this is Rip Trippers. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment below. Feel free to PM me anytime. And remember, smoking is dead. Vaping is the future. And the future is now. You guys have a great night.